Most people would say hitboxes matter in Apex Legends, but exactly how much do they matter? And could it be why Apex Legends' biggest legend is doing so badly in the meta right now? To find out, I set up a test. I grabbed 5 Mozambique-wielding maniacs that I pulled off the streets of E-District, set them up on top of a tower, and had them shoot at Gibraltar from a distance. What? He deserves it for sitting on so many people. And those same 5 people will shoot at Wraith. Now, the question is, how much longer will it take these players to eliminate the Gibraltar versus the Wraith? The results of this test will surely give us a real insight into just how much hitboxes matter. And that will be our first step to solving Gibraltar's biggest issues so that we can create our very own Gibraltar buff plan that we can send to the developers. So, first things first, let's start with Gibraltar's biggest problem before we test his other perks and abilities in solo queue ranked. Hitting somebody from this far away with Mozambiques isn't easy by any means. The spread of the weapon at this distance really means it's mostly down to a game of numbers. The larger the surface area, the easier it will be to hit. Now, I did run this test multiple times to get some better results. And remember, Gibraltar already takes less damage due to his fortified perk, so let's set the timer and see how long it takes to eliminate Wraith and how long it takes to eliminate Gibraltar. As Gibraltar gets eliminated within 3 seconds, Wraith's slimmer model manages to dodge a lot more bullets despite her literally standing still. The timer keeps on going and Wraith is still standing, and before you know it, Wraith finally drops to the ground. So, this test shows us that Gibraltar's hitbox is so big that he could die 5 times faster than Wraith. But maybe that one was a fluke. So, I tested it multiple times, alternating between Wraith and Gibraltar on different sides of the map, and here were the results. The overall averages on screen show us that hitboxes really do make quite a big difference. So we now know Gibraltar is big, and that's one of his major issues right now. For us to make a good Gibraltar buff, we're going to need to fix this problem. My solution? Give him an overshield similar to Revenant, but it's active at all times, and get rid of his arm shield, because as you'll see in this next game, the arm shield has some difficulties of its own.
One more in there.
Pushing?
Yeah.
You won't. Well, Horizon's out of the ring. Oh dear. Dude, the problem with the Mozams on Gibby, you don't get the shield. No, bro. So, yeah, the Mozambique Akimbos don't count as aiming down sights, which means you don't get the arm shield buff, which is a massive part of Gibraltar's kit. So you got the most meta weapon in the game being absolutely useless on Gibraltar, forcing you to choose weapons that you may otherwise not like to choose. So here's a look at us trying to use not as meta weapons on Gibraltar to see if we can still keep up with everybody else who's running around getting free kills with the Mozams.
One team dead.
Nice. Die already! What is that man to me? He's nothing but a stranger. Gotta be more somewhere, right? Right here.
Yeah, fighting right there.
I got a kill.
Wait, I have an idea.
Make sure they don't push up while we're busy. I'm still watching.
Okay. Good one. Got them a lot. How are they still alive?
Oh, close, close.
Push up. Nice.
Dead.
I'm healing.
Rude.
That's a little bit brave.
Oh, she's in our building.
Okay. It's a
Yeah, I'm going back
3v2.
I can heal. Nice. We got done.
I go for the rest.
I don't have dome.
Suppress fire.
Almost got.
Excellent. I don't have the... Oh, brother.
Oh my god. Tap on the flow.
Okay,
Oh man.
Yeah, it feels rough to have to choose specific weapons and have to aim down sights to avoid taking as much damage, especially when you've got like a 3x and you're aiming right at someone right in front of your face. This doesn't feel like a fun ability to use. It feels like you're forced to do certain things that are against the meta, which is a problem when Gibby is so out of the meta anyway. So the initial change I suggested of changing Gibraltar's passive to give him an overshield similar to Revenant would actually solve both his hitbox and his ADS problem with the gun shield. He could happily use any weapons, even when hip firing, and not feel forced to use weapons aimed down sight. Now, there are just 2 more issues to solve with Gibraltar. Let's take a look at our next issue in our next game. Yes, Gibraltar's once impenetrable fortress dome is now nothing but a paperweight, with both Maggie and Crypto able to destroy it with a single button press. I feel like it needs more strength, and on top of that, I feel when in Gibraltar's bubble, he should be able to heal faster, revive even faster, or get some other added benefit. These kinds of buffs could be pretty easy to do, and actually we've had similar buffs like this in the past for Gibraltar, back when he was actually useful in the meta. So bringing these kinds of buffs back now, when every other legend has like 15 abilities, feels pretty safe for the meta. Now, there's just one final problem that we need to solve for Gibraltar. The final thing to solve, so that we can make the perfect buff plan so that Gibraltar can fit back in the meta, is to fix his healing capabilities. Now, when we have legends like Lifeline and Newcastle who can res really quickly at any time because of their passive abilities, Gibraltar's healing potential, which requires the cooldown of his dome to be ready, feels pretty bad. And to really prove how much this matters, I'm going to hot drop in pubs and see how long I can keep my hot drop maniacs alive with Newcastle versus Gibraltar. All I'll do is spectate and be ready to jump to their side and res them. Let's see how things compare with Newcastle versus Gibby, and I'll showcase just how big of a problem this is for Gibby. This is the perfect team to test this with. We've got a Wraith and an Octane, literally the best hot droppers ever to exist. My Wraith's getting pushed 3v1. This is a great opportunity to show what happens when you got a Newcastle to save your solo queue maniacs. We're going to drop down here, making sure that we stay alive. We are literally the support. Here we go. Octane's going in, and he's taking the first bit of damage here. Is he going to survive? Oh, like every good Octane, he peaks again with 1 HP and still manages to get the knock. What a legend. Wraith, on the other hand, is running around through the building, not really knowing what to do because she's not used to landing at a hot drop with only 1 team. She's expecting 15 other players around. So is she really feeling comfortable in this POI? No, not really. She's feeling way out of her element, but that's not stopping her from one-clip centering people in the head as she breaks Watson's shields. All I'm going to do is keep following my boys to see exactly how well they can do under pressure. Here we go, as he drops down on the zip, the first fight is going to be happening, but the audio in this game is so terrible that Octane doesn't realize the enemies are 1 floor below us. How long is it going to take for 2 hot drop solo queue players to realize the enemies are hiding underground with a Watson fence? Apparently, far too long. Looks like they finally realized the enemies might be hiding up underground, and Wraith goes in to see exactly what he can do with a bit of a wall jump. My Newcastle shield comes down to block Wraith's bullets, which is going to slow her down. Here we go, peeking. She's taking some damage. They got the angle. This is exactly what you expect to see from 2 very organized solo queue players. Nothing that you'd ever see in ranked. What a shot with the Wraith there. And I don't have to do anything. I just stand here and wait for these players to go in. Really no surprise here that these guys are doing extremely well as a coordinated duo. These guys know what's up. Octane's going to go in. Is he going to take his first knock? It looks like he's about to go down. No, Octane does it, but it's no problem. He may have accidentally backpedaled into a Watson fence. We've all done it before. Doesn't matter. We've got Newcastle to save the day. Wraith goes in, takes a little bit of an angle, and gets 1 quick clean up. What a lovely job. I've done 0 damage, but I still feel like I'm having a good time. There's a great example of how quickly Newcastle can jump to the action to save his teammates no matter what's going on. Now, let's compare it to a Gibby hot drop. Here, we've even got a Lifeline on our team to help us here with this, so this is going to be very, very interesting. No gun. Okay, all I'm doing in this instance is rezzing my team, I suppose. Random fuse. Okay, that player disconnected from the game. Okay, first res. Let's keep it up. Here we go. Here we go. Got your back. There you go, buddy. You know me. I gotta go help my buddy here. Bloodhound. Oh. If I die, that's not gonna help. Quick. Let's get back here. Heal up. Oh no. My Bloodhound is down and I don't have my cooldown ready. I'm gonna have to go and res without a bubble. Luckily, we have a lifeline on the team. Okay, let me try and get this res off. Come on, let's go. Yeah, that wasn't gonna work, was it? If we were Newcastle, we could have clutched the res or lifeline. Gibby is a really bad support legend. Not all support legends need revive-based abilities, but Gibby literally has a revive-based ability. When he's in the dome, he can revive his teammates faster. But when you compare that to the lifeline quick res or the Newcastle shielded res, Gibby's option feels really terrible and tied exactly to the cooldown of his bubble. A quick solution to this would be to give Gibby's fast res to his teammates no matter where he is standing. And when he's in his bubble, you could speed it up even faster. So there we have it. Some big changes to Gibby that could really help him out in the meta. Question is, what would you do to help Gibby fit back into the meta?